Hi guys, welcome back to another video of Super Chessers. This is Arnav signing in, and in today's video we'll be going over my IHSA games from the first day. Sorry I couldn't post my vlog for the second day. It was because my camera died midway, so I'm still trying to figure out how to edit it and post it. And also, one more thing, tomorrow I'm also going to be making another vlog for my tournament tomorrow at called US Team Amateur North, and it's at Schaumburg, Illinois, and it's a 2-day tournament as well, and it's USCF rating, and I'm trying to hope that I gain at least 2,000 maybe in that tournament. And without further ado, let's get right into today's video. Okay, so here's my first round game versus my opponent from Cary C. Grove. So he first begins the game with d4, and instead of playing a normal opening and like following his prep, I decide to be annoying and go knight a6 just so I can throw him off and like potentially make him make a mistake. And so now he goes e4, and I can see his intention of taking the knight and like damaging my pawn structure. So in order to stop damaging my pawn structure, I decide to go c6. So as you can pretty much see, if he tries going bishop takes a6, thinking, oh, he won my knight, and I get to damage his pawn structure. No, that's not the case, because I can go queen a5 check, and I'll say he goes bishop d2, and then I can just go queen takes a6, and yeah, it's pretty good for me at this point. He doesn't have a better advantage. Anyways, so he goes c4 now, and now I'm thinking about transposing it into the King's Indian defense, so I decided to turn the game around by going d6. So we pretty much have a King's Indian setup, except he goes bishop g5. So here, after he goes bishop g5, I decide to play queen a5 with the intention of winning this pawn over here and attacking his bishop just in case if he doesn't see it. So after I played queen a5, then he goes a3. I think his idea was to attack my queen with the b pawn, but unfortunately he hung his bishop, and now I'm just winning. Okay, so as you guys can see, I'm up a minor piece, and my position looks pretty good for me. And now he just tries attacking my queen, and I just retreat back. And here we just make developing moves. And oh, over here, he's trying to attack my knight. After he went c5 and maybe try and damage my pawn structure, but I just missed that idea and just castled, and I got lucky. So after he goes e5, um, I was pretty much happy here because I just want a free pawn. So instead of being up completely a minor piece, I am up a pawn as well. So that's like even better for me. I have much more of an advantage. So now he just goes queen d4. I don't know why he played that, honestly. Like, I'm gonna win the pawn no matter what. I think he should have just taken my, oops, one sec. I think he should have just, taken my knight instead of going, queen d4. Let's see what the engine says. Okay, rook a2, but the engine is the engine. It's, coming up with pretty peculiar moves that no one can find. Like, I don't even get what the point of rook a2 is. It pretty much does nothing. And yeah, if he goes bishop takes a6, then he damages my pawn structure. So like, why not just go there instead of playing this um weird move, rook a2. Anyways, he goes queen d4 like I said, and then I just take the pawn, and then he trades, and then I take back with the bishop, and now I'm threatening to win another pawn, hopefully. So he just goes queen c4, and then I keep, and then maybe I was thinking about attacking his queen instead, just so in case if he blunders it. Um, okay, so now he goes queen d3, and then I still attack his queen, and then now I decide to finally take, cause I didn't want to hang a repetition, so I just decide to take the pawn and like go for the win. So now he goes king h1, and as you guys can see, I'm up a minor piece and two pawns, which is looking pretty good for me, and I have a huge advantage right now. Okay, so after he went king h1, now I bring my bishop back to e5, and he goes rook d1, and I don't know if he should have went rook d1 because I could just trade everything off, like over here. We can just trade everything off, but like, yeah, I don't know why I didn't move my knight either. It was pretty funny how my knight was just there the whole time and he didn't take it. Okay, anyways, after rook a to d1, I decide to move my knight back at this point just so I don't damage my pawn structure, and then maybe trade the rooks off. So here he goes knight e4. I think his plan is to go here and still weaken my pawn structure, but I went bishop d5 now, and my idea was to like um hope that he moves his knight. For example, like over here, I can go here and say he does something like that. I can just go queen h3 check with that brilliant move, and then after he goes king g2, I just made him like that. So that was my goal. So obviously that's not gonna happen, cause yeah, and anyways, he went bishop f3, so yeah, it pretty much didn't work. I just went queen c8 just in case, if he moves his bishop and knight back. So now he goes queen c1, and now we're just making moves. So now I just try trading off pieces. So he traded off his queens, which was a good thing for me. And now he attacks my bishop. I have to move back. We just play normal chess here, and I start winning more of his pawns. And then here he just hangs his pawn, and the game is pretty much over. Okay, so the main takeaways from this game was that after he hung his bishop and pawns, he just traded everything off, which he shouldn't have done. He should have like kept his pieces in place still. So that way, if for example I blunder somehow, then he can still mate me. And when you trade your pieces, you obviously have less of a way to like mate your opponents. Okay, anyways, let's go back to the next game. Uh, so here, this is my chapter 2. This is my second round versus my opponent from Richwoods. Okay, so so I start the game off with e4, even though I don't normally play this. I decide to try something new, and he plays the Caro-Kann, and I like playing against the Caro-Kann because typically I win against it. So after d4 and then d5, then I just go knight c3, the Tarka Tower variation, and he just takes. We play normal moves, and I decide to be a bit furtive here and play the Alien Gambit. I was trying to hope my opponent falls for it, so sadly he didn't fall for it. So he went bishop f5. Then I was trying to take his f7 pawn because I saw that it was pretty weak. So he went e6 to guard it. And then now I just have to start developing. But here I thought this was a mistake because after I take the f uh, 5 bishop, I thought his pawn structure was pretty terrible. And now my knight was being attacked. So I had to move my knight and I moved it back to f3, which was the best move by the engine. And now he goes bishop c4 check. And here, during the game, I started to get scared because I thought I blundered, honestly, when I went there. Because after I play c3, I was thinking that after this, he's winning because he's up a pawn, even though I have two minors for a rook. Okay. Um, Anyways, going back, apparently this was winning, which I got like. I'm happy I still played the winning move. Okay. Anyways, he took my rook. I took with my queen, and my queen has a pretty strong diagonal over here. So I was thinking this position was looking pretty sharp for me. So now he plays queen e7 check, and here I thought, okay, so I shouldn't be going bishop e2 because say he castles and then I castle, that's just a free bishop. Like, what am I doing going there? So I decided to play king d1 so that way I can bring my rook here and fork his queen if he doesn't castle. So obviously he doesn't hang it and he castles just to avoid that. So now I go queen b1, and this nice maneuver is just so that I can like um put him in Zugzwang, where basically if he moves his queen, for example, to this square, I can win either of his pawns, which isn't looking good for him. So, anyways, he goes queen c7, which doesn't hang this pawn, but unfortunately it hangs this pawn. So now, after now he just goes a5, and I didn't know what the idea of that move was. I think he was trying to maybe bring his knight out without damaging his pawn structure. So, but now I get to start attacking his king side. So I began to attack with knight g5. So now he goes g6, and here I thought that my position was completely demolishing him. Like, say I go queen of 6, for example. Now, this pawn is a huge weakness, and say he goes somewhere here, then say he goes knight d7, then I can just go knight there, and bam. Wait, oops. No, I did not see my queen was hanging there. So, no, not knight d7. Hold up. Okay, say he goes, um, uh, okay, yeah, well, let's go queen there for now. Then I can just go knight there, and I'm absolutely demolishing him from there. Okay, anyways, let's go back into the game. So after I go queen f6, he obviously didn't like seeing my knight attacking his king side, and um I think he missed this, but I have this beautiful tactic where I take this pawn, and he can't take with the f pawn because this pawn is pinned to the king. So here it's just mate in one, and we played it out, and yeah, that was it. So here, from this game, you have to make pretty nice maneuvers and attack your opponent's king side in order to go for the win. Okay, now let's move on to game number 3. And game number 3, this was my first loss um for this tournament. Okay, so here I'm playing someone from Matia, and um he begins the game with e4, and I was stuck between what to play, between e5 or the French, but I decided to play the French because I haven't played it in a while, and usually I do good with the French, so I decided because why not? Okay, he plays normally after he goes d4 and I go d5. So now he plays the exchange French. I hate this variation so much because it's pretty much just a dead draw if your opponent knows how to play well. Um, so we just played theory pretty much up until this point. So now he goes c4. It's like kind of like the queen's gambit symmetrical variation, pretty much, where um where you go c4 and you eventually take this pawn after your opponent castles because they move their bishop, and you're like making the bishop move back again, and yeah, your opponent wouldn't like that. So anyways, I went c6. I just wanted to like wait on and see what my opponent would do before I take the c4 pawn. So now he goes knight c3, and well, I didn't want my opponent to take my d5 pawn because I didn't want my pawn to be isolated, so I had to figure something out here. So I go bishop g4. I think bishop g4 is still a solid move. Um, I don't, and my goal was to take the c4 pawn and get his knight pinned, and I was thinking that I was on top of the world here. So he just goes a3, and he's trying to expand on the queen side and have a good endgame advantage. So but now I think he missed this. I want to pin his knight, so after I took the pawn, he takes with his bishop, and now I move my knight to f5. And here I was thinking, oh, I have such a good position. If I just take with my knight over here at some point, and if he takes with this queen, then I can just take with the bishop, and let's say he takes back again with this pawn, then I can go bishop takes h2 check and win his queen like that. So I was thinking, okay, I'm winning here, but unfortunately I'm not. Okay, so now he goes bishop e3. I hated how he played that because now I cannot go for the tactic. So now I decide to try something else here. I decide to go bishop takes f3, and then he goes queen takes f3, and now here I'm just losing. So I thought I was winning here because after he takes the knight with this bishop, then I was thinking that after I go queen h4, I'm just going to win no matter what because I'm threatening mate and I'm going to be up a pawn afterward. But anyways, let me show you why I'm not gonna win. So he can go rook f. He can move the f rook to d1, and even if I take like this, he can still run his king away. And let's say I go here, he moves his king away, and let's say I go here, then he can just go king d3 and he's fine. I can't believe I missed that and he missed that. Like, I thought I was like winning here. Anyways, let's go back. So after I thought I came up with a nice winning move here, he goes queen h3, and I thought I was still better here since I'm up the pawn, but apparently not. Because Okay, after he goes bishop d3, he's trying to mate me, of course, so I just block with the g6 pawn. But now I'm starting to get really scared here. I think he has compensation for the pawn because his pieces are more active than my pieces, and my knight hasn't even moved, and it's disconnecting my rooks from being active. Anyways, I retreat my queen to g7, and here I thought my position was terrible. I would play in white's position instead. Um, so now after queen g7, he plays bishop c4. I think his idea is to um, maybe start attacking my king side potentially, um, and pinning my f pawn. Could make him find ways to find pretty devious tactics. Okay, so after bishop c4, I decide to go bishop e5 with the idea of like trading the pieces off during the endgame since I'm up a pawn. So after I go there, he starts to realize this and he plays um knight to e4, and I think this was a good move because after I go bishop takes um b2, uh he can go knight g5, and here he is just destroying me. So say for example I go knight a6, he goes knight takes. um Now I pretty much have nothing. I'm just basically lost here if that were to happen. Okay, so anyways, I indeed did not fall for that. So I moved my pawn to h6, and this was still a bad move, believe it or not, because he has f4, and he can just start attacking my bishop, and even though I have bishop d4 check, and he can go king h1, um, then even if I play something like c5 for example, he can go f5, and now he's attacking my king side, and I have to like start being worried now because look at my pieces compared to his. They're like active and mine's are pretty trash. Okay, so after bishop takes, okay, anyways, he moves his knight there, losing his advantage. So I decide to trade off the knight for the bishop, and then he trades back. So now I decide to go king h 7, just so he doesn't find pretty sneaky tactics. And after he doubles his rooks here, it looks pretty scary, so I had to like do something because my pieces weren't doing anything at all. So after I went king h7, um, he goes rook e1 to bring more pieces into the game to attack my king side. So now I go queen takes b2, and I'm suddenly losing. Like it's plus 4.5 right now. After he goes queen f3, queen g7, rook e7. This looks terrible for me. He's just attacking me. So let's say I go king h8, and then after he goes h4, like even though I go knight a6 and bring my rook back, he can go bishop takes f7, and bam, that's losing instantly for me. So thankfully he goes rook takes g6, and here this was a blunder for him because after he goes, I think his idea was to like mate me by going rook takes g6, but here I go king takes g6, and I'm suddenly -2 here, despite having my king open. So now what he does is he gives me a check and starts annoying me by going bishop d3 check. Um, so now I move my king back to g7 to get safe, and now he goes queen f5, and I'm at like 10 minutes on the clock, and I am panicking on what to do here. Like, um, if I went, I did not see the winning move here. I'll show you the winning move after. Like, I I was only calculating rook h8. I don't know why I was unable to find this easy move, but like, I thought, yeah, I thought it was either rook h8, go for the draw, or I thought it was um rook g8, escape. But after rook g8, I realized I was so stupid. I thought I was escaping when I went rook g8, but then uh I didn't realize. So what I thought would happen was after he goes queen there, and I move my king here, and after he takes with the pawn, I move my queen back here, and I did not miss this, and I missed this. Like, I'm like, oh my god, why did I make that move? I should have spent more time thinking. Instead, what I should have done to stay safe was I should have went rook d5 over here. I mean, rook d8, sorry. Uh, so I am, oh my god. So my king is still safe after I go here, because say he goes, uh, okay, queen there, check, and I go king there. He pretty much has nothing now. My king is very safe. If after he goes queen takes, I go queen g7, and now he's dead lost. Like, I was like crashing out after he played. I know, after I missed that move. It was like so tragic. Okay, anyways, I played the losing move, of course, rook g8. He went queen h7 check. I moved my king up, hoping that he wouldn't see queen takes h6 check and would be greedy and take my rook like that. But like, anyways, anyways, he of course took the h6 pawn, um, attacking my king. So I pretty much had to go rook d6, and um, now after bishop takes, I knew I was dead lost here, and I was at like 3 minutes during this position, and I tried to like thought of it. I was thinking of a strategy, and honestly, my plan was to like wait until I had a minute left on the clock, because I noticed how he was playing very fast. So I thought I would Lafang him by going queen d2. That way, if he plays something like this, then I can just take his queen like that. Damn. But of course, he is smart and sees this and just takes my queen. I don't know why I just made my position this terrible and just lost like that. So the lesson here is that you should spend more time during the game, because at some point you can miss a move, and that can cost you the entire game. So anyways, let's move on to game number 4 now, which was against Peyton, and that of course was the school we lost to. So here I decided to play something I normally played, which was knight f3. I play this against like um pretty strong players usually, and now he goes knight f6, and hope was that he would play. My hope was that he would play um e6, and then I would go bishop g2, going into the king's Indian attack, and that way, after let's say after a couple of moves here like c5, e4, knight c6, rook e1, um, b5, e5, knight d7, knight there, queen c7, bishop f4, bishop e7, h4. Let's say he went rook e8, and here I thought he would. My goal was to hope for him to play something like that, so I would get like a strong attack on him. And yeah, unfortunately, he did not play that. He instead played g6, turning it into a King's Indian defense. So I had to go back to like um, a Catalan setup basically. So we just played like what we would play in like a King's Indian Catalan setup. So now I go a3 to like gain space on the queen side, and since he's going to gain space on the king side. So here he goes h6, and I was like kind of confused at first um why he went h6, and I was spending a lot of time here, but I suddenly realized that his plan was to go f5, g5, um and start with his pawns over here, um, here, and this position won't look good for me. So I go knight e1, just so that if he went to f5, I would go f3 when it was necessary. So I start expanding space, and now I go f3 here because he's moving his g pawn. So now he went b6 uh, to stop me from expanding. So now I just go knight d3 um, to start developing my pieces after a few moves. Now I was suddenly able to gain space after he went bishop d7 and he moved his knight. But he was also starting to kind of attack my king side, so I just decided to trade so that I would hopefully see a way for me to get an advantage. So here, I played b5. So if you don't know why I played b5, it was with the hopes of going knight there and knight there, and like having like a strong pawn on c6, because I'm about to get a pass pawn, for example, if we trade everything, and it looks like he's not able to, and he goes queen c8. So his idea, of course, is to like um take my fianchettoed bishop away, so that way he can start coming with an attack. So I decide to go g4 after seeing this plan, and here I'm already worse because he can sack his knight at some point, and this won't be too bad for him, and he can bring his pawn to h5. So this looks pretty good for him. Uh, I don't know why I got scared of that queen c8 maneuver, but now he plays h5, and I go h3, missing the point of the move. So here he trades, and obviously, as you can see, he is able to start attacking now after he goes um, knight takes, which is exactly what he played. So I had to take it, otherwise I would kind of be lost. So now he goes bishop takes. I played the best defensive move, which was bishop f3, and now he goes bishop h3, and luckily um my advantage was back in play, and I found this tricky move, which was knight f2, and uh here I suddenly realized I can just give my rook away because I'm getting two minors for the rook, which is good for me. So here instead he should have just played bishop takes f3, and say I went like queen takes f3, he would go g4, and like his uh expansion on the king side is like too strong that it's terrible for me. So he went bishop f3, of course. I went knight f2. He takes the rook. I take back with the queen. So now I was starting to think. Um, I I go bishop g4. Um, so that way, because this square was pretty weak, and after my bishop goes there, I'm just having a huge advantage. So after queen takes f1, he goes king f7. I think he saw that idea, but anyways, now he's just lost from here. Like it's +2. So I attack his queen. He moves his queen to e8, and now I just bring my bishop to its square, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good too. And after knight a5, he was giving a ways for him to defend his king, and that was also pretty annoying too that I wasn't able to find mate instantly. So here, this is all we notated up until um, there was pretty much um, uh, obviously no more moves. I mean, there was obviously more moves later in the game, but like uh, we drew in like two more moves, I believe. So I think I just moved my queen up there. Um, he went queen e8. I went queen there check, and then here I just wait. No, he didn't go there. He went can't remember. Um, oh yeah, rook f7, and even though this happened here, oops, I did not play that, of course. Um, here, he still had a compensation for it because of that G pawn. So, anyways, um, I made a mistake going queen there. Instead, what I should have done, sorry, um, I should have found this tricky knight maneuver, which was knight a2, with the idea of bringing my knight to this square. No, not there, of course. Knight to c6. So, say if he went like rook h8, then I would go knight b4, and let's say he goes king e8, I go knight c6, and queen c7, and then rook c1. Let's say he goes queen there. I can go bishop b4, and now this looks devastating for my opponent because um as you guys can see, um I brought my pieces up until red squares now, so I can also play this move, rook c8. Wait, no, not rook there. I meant rook there. Rook c. Oh my god. Rook c6. I can just gain that pawn, and I'm just on top of the world here. So I got into time pressure. I could have probably found that move if I had more time and didn't fall for time pressure. So Anyways, the lesson of the game here is to like not spend too much time um on chess games. You should just um move as soon as you're getting low on time. Even if the position is pretty complicated, so that way when you're having a huge advantage, you don't just throw it off from time. Okay, and that concludes my day one games of the IHSA tournament at state, and I will see you guys later for the next for day two games, and of course my USAT vlog, and day two vlog if I can figure something out. I'm like editing it, and that concludes today's video. I'll see you guys later.